His name is Oliver Queen. For 5 years, he was stranded on an island with only one goal: to get off the island. Now he will have to fulfill his father's dying wish and use the list of names he left him to bring down those who are poisoning his city, Star City. To do this, he'll have to become something, someone else. Someone like Arrow. Hey guys, what's going on? It's DJ here with my bro Jeremy.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Joined by our friend Kodiak.
Hi.
Sadly, Brockmat can't join us tonight, but we have another weekly recap of the Arrow. This week's episode is called Canaries. Bears, would you do the honors of giving the synopsis?
Certainly. So the episode starts with Laurel getting beat down by Sarah, which is a hallucination, but we'll get to that later in the episode. So we go back 48 hours where Arrow and Arsenal are chasing down a guy, and it's intervened by Canary, who completely takes this dude out. And Oliver Queen is not happy about that. Says, think of what would happen to your father if you got hurt or something like that. So he tells her to take a walk, and she's not happy about it. Meanwhile, back at the clubhouse, aka the Arrow Cave, Merlin decides to give Oliver a visit. Tell him that they need Thea's help or cooperation if they're going to take on Ra's al Ghul. Everybody's kind of still hating on Merlin because of what he did, but, you know, we're moving past that. Meanwhile, in the flashbacks, we're back in Hong Kong, where Oliver and Misao are on the run from Argus because of what they did previous, which was steal the virus. Was it a virus?
I think
chemical?
So. Yeah.
Some form of device, and Waller isn't happy about that. So tells Oliver, get out in the open, announce yourself, make sure the world knows you're alive. We're going to Shanghai. We're back in the modern day, and we see Count Vertigo, who's being transported by a guard and surrounded by paparazzi. Guard freaks out, starts shooting people, and Laurel Lance does a flying right hook.
Yeah. Then her daddy saw.
Greatest right of all time.
Yeah.
Took that guard. So then we go to the club where Thea is doing her day thing. I don't even know what she does during the day there.
Yeah, what does she do? She just loiters. She just stands there.
And Oliver comes out and decides it's time to tell her the big secret. That he's Batman. Or Arrow.
I'm Batman.
So instead of getting all what we would expect, being all upset that Oliver's been lying to her, quite the opposite, actually. She's proud and grateful that Oliver's actually been protecting and saving lives instead of just being this douchey playboy rich kid.
Yeah, I thought it would have went the other way.
Yeah.
I think everybody did. I thought she was gonna completely lose it. But no, didn't happen. So now they're back in her apartment, his apartment, their apartment. And Oliver tells her that they need to team up in order to defeat Ra's al Ghul. And by team up, I mean with Merlin.
Yeah.
Or Malcolm Merlin. And for some reason, that decides to make something click in her brain. She gets mad at him. I have no idea why at that point she just decided to be mad at Malcolm Merlin. But she said something along the lines of, "You're tearing his family apart!" She storms out.
Well, remember, she did, Merlin did try to take her away while Oliver was gone. And he kind of driving a wedge in between them a little bit.
Meanwhile, back in time, Oliver gets recaptured by Argus in Hong Kong. He totally takes a taser to the back of the head. I've never been tased before, but that could not have, that probably make taste like Doritos or something.
What made it a bit weird was his long hair while he was like shaking.
Alright, so then we're back at the treehouse, and Laura reveals that it was actually a reporter, or one of the reporters, that dosed the guard, causing Vertigo to escape. So using this information, they put it into their nifty computer, and Laurel starts suiting up. But Oliver won't have none of that. Tells her to take a seat. Ain't doing it. You're just chasing an adrenaline high, trying to be like your sister. And Laurel says, "No, you," and walks away. So that happens. Roy and Oliver decide to follow up that lead, and in that lead they find the reporter who's been strapped with a bomb, ready and waiting to kill our two heroes.
Yeah.
I felt bad for that guy.
Well, he didn't have a choice. Vertigo threatened his wife, which they end up making sure she's safe, by the way. So then, after that, we go back to Hong Kong, where Oliver is being tortured for the location of Misao and Katsu. First, he doesn't break until Waller decides to hit the family button, and he cracked. All she had to say was Thea and Speedy and Needle, And that was it.
Yeah.
So, we go back in time again, present day. This episode's just all over the place.
Yeah.
And Detective Lance decides to vocalize his suspicions that the canary that he's seeing around the city is not actually his daughter.
Which builds up to something later.
Yeah. I don't know why he's taking the word of some street kid that he's never actually talked to, but he did. So then we go back to the fun house, and we got Oliver, who doesn't trust Laurel. So he put a tracker on her, and using the information she got from Detective Lance, she's down at the docks trying to stop Count Vertigo. Doesn't go well. She takes a dose of his magic juice. So now we're full circle. We're coming back to the scene of the beginning of the episode, where Laurel is getting her butt kicked by Sarah.
Yeah.
Who is actually a hallucination and is really Count Vertigo just laying the beats with her nightstick. But luckily, our heroes show up right before he can take the final blow. Totally comes in, sweeps up, and she's saved! Yay! They take her back to the arcade, where Thea decides to wander in. I don't know what she's doing down there in the first place.
Well, she's curious. She thought the place was flooded for like the whole time.
Hey guys, what's going on? Oh my god, look at all that blood! So yeah, Oliver tells her to go back upstairs. No, he doesn't tell her. He demands that she goes back upstairs.
He yelled at her.
And Roy's like, don't talk that way. And Oliver's stunned. He doesn't get it. Why is this little boy trying to talk smack? But Felicity decides to tell Oliver that, you know, he was dead. He was gone for like a month. They had to learn to work without him. Can't just come in and butt his way to the front of the line anymore. So he backs down and decides to go drown his sorrows while they do their thing and fix her back up. So we go back to Thea, who's outside now. She runs into Mr. DJ. I think his name was Chase.
Yeah, I think so.
Who we learned last episode is a secret spy for Ra's al Ghul.
Yay.
And she takes him back to her place for a little, dot, dot, dot. So we go back to inside where Oliver is drinking and is joined by Diggle, who explains to him again that he was straight up dead. He was gone. They didn't expect him to come back, and that they had to learn to fight not for him, but for themselves.
But he said it nicer than everybody else did.
Yes.
That's why he understood.
And that Oliver's crusade is no longer Oliver's crusade, but a joint venture to protect the city. And it was touching and heartwarming. Back at Thea's place, her and Chase are just doing the horizontal monster mash. And they decide they need drinks.
Yeah.
Because nothing's better than drinks. But I don't know, it's Spidey sense or she actually smelt it. Malcolm Merlin's training kicks in and she cyanide instantly.
Yeah.
And she pulls a knife, which is not a regular kitchen knife, I might add.
Yeah,
that was like a fighting knife. And so they get into a little scuffle, and Roy, for some reason, doesn't know how to use a door handle. Just kicks open the door. Obliterates that thing. It was kind of awesome.
Can we just say that maybe he was outside of the door listening to the whole thing and just waiting for that?
Yeah.
She's in trouble. Yeah. Well, it would have been awkward if he kicked in like two minutes sooner.
Yeah.
Are you in trouble?
Oh.
No, he would have another reason to kick his ass.
So, Roy and this assassin get into a little fight, but before the fight can come to a close, Merlin steps in, tries to take all the glory, shoots him with an arrow. But Chase ain't gonna let him take it. No. He's gonna go on his own way and drinks a vial. I feel like there's some form of hidden meaning in what he said, but we'll get to that later. So, we go back into the funhouse of Oliver Queen, and he is tracking the chemicals. I don't know how they managed to get these tracking devices all over the places, but they did. And they now have the location of the Count, who actually has a bunch of hostages. Oliver, knowing he can't do this alone, decides that it's time for Laurel Lance to put on her nice tight leather again.
Yay, finally.
Yay! So they go there. Oliver Queen does, I don't even know, he shoots an arrow.
Yeah.
Lets everybody escape, does some fireman carry. And Laurel Lance just can't seem to get over her needle addiction because she took another dose. But this time, she's hallucinating her father and Sarah. Her dad being, why didn't she tell her about Sarah or tell him about Sarah? And Sarah being, I guess, trying to take over her place.
Yeah.
Somehow she's able to overcome that notion that she's trying to replace Sarah, and just lays the beat down on Vertigo, who's apparently quite easy to beat if you're not tripping balls. So after that happens, we get Felicity, who gets a phone call, tells Oliver that there was a slight mishap at Thea's place. So they just bat jet out of there, and Laurel goes to see her dad. Poor Detective Lance had to learn that way. You could almost feel the emotion there.
That was very sad.
Those feels. Thea learned from this the break-in, or well, I guess it wasn't a break-in, the assassination attempt, that they do in fact need Merlin's help. Which Merlin tells them they need to conquer their fears, or their worst fears, in order to be able to defeat Raz. And that there's only one place they could go. So Oliver says goodbye to the Wonder Friends, and they go back to Lianyu, aka Purgatory, aka Oliver's home for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I would say 5, but he wasn't actually there. Because at the end of the episode, it is revealed he actually was in Starling City for one of those years, apparently.
Yeah.
And that's what happened in the episode.
Okay. Thank you, Bears, for that. A lot of stuff happened in that episode.
Yeah.
There's just a bunch of things to touch on. So let's talk about favorite parts. What was your favorite part?
Oliver realizing that he isn't the center of attention anymore.
I agree with that. I think that's one of my favorite parts. My other one was, I mean, it's part of that, but when Roy actually said something to Oliver about it, and when Diggle said something to him too, I think those parts were pretty important, so that he could like kind of like put himself into that place that he needs to be, realize it's more than just him now.
Yeah.
And the orders, like it's like a whole team now. So I thought that was one of my favorite parts. Oh, I know it's kind of like a sad part, but I think Laurel telling her dad. Because he had to know eventually, and if it came from somebody else, that would have been even worse. But at least she finally came to her
senses.
Yeah, and told her dad. I think that part was one of my favorites too.
No, I think actually my favorite part was when Oliver actually told Thea about his secret.
See, there's so much stuff. Yeah, that too. Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
It's like, I'm Batman. And
I like how
she's
she
like,
took the news like well.
yeah, she was like, oh, you're not just some dumb kid. Thank you. And I was just like, yay.
That must be so awesome finding out like somebody that's so close to you is like a superhero or a vigilante, and then they finally let you in on the secret. That's awesome.
Like, why not tell us before?
Yeah.
If you're a superhero and you didn't tell me all that time, I'd kind of be upset.
oh, dude, I'm gonna totally do that to my brother. I'm gonna just go rent a storage locker and fill it full of all this stuff. Just one day I'm just gonna, hey Jay, I gotta tell you something. Open it up. It's just gonna be like a bat cave in there.
Oh, no. That would be so awesome. But yeah, that part was actually, I can't believe we missed that part. That's actually probably our favorite part out of all of that.
I guess.
It's awesome. I guess it pays to tell the truth. Why not? That's the thing with these DC heroes. They don't let anybody in on it, and they end up pushing people away. If I became a superhero, I would be like, Jeremy, I go out at night and fight bad guys. And then I'll be like, you want to be my sidekick?
I would be like, why didn't you tell me earlier?
See, right there we get conflict. You didn't tell me?
Yeah,
you're a superhero.
I would have acted the opposite of what Thea did.
What were your dislikes, if you had any? I didn't really have anything to dislike about it.
The Hong Kong bits. Like,
yeah.
I understand there wasn't much going on, but I felt like they could have just done all of that in one segment and just left us with the rest of the episode.
I get what you're saying. I feel like the Count Vertigo was kind of like, he was needed, kind of, but yeah, that's the only thing. So what do you think is gonna happen next, now that they're on the island? On both sides, like them on the island and then the team back at home doing their thing.
Well, let me ask you this: as our resident DC expert, what does Pantheon mean to you?
Is it bad that I don't know that and I follow DC? What is that?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I thought you were gonna follow it up with something.
Well, I follow the cast of Arrow on their respective media sites, and Stephen Amell, aka Oliver Queen, posted that the next 2 episodes are going to be Pantheon episodes.
I feel like maybe it's gonna change the dynamic of Arrow, probably. I hope during that time, like, we see what they're doing over there, but we see Adam.
See Adam over there?
I want to see No, I'm saying I want to see Adam kind of working with, not exactly knowing what's going on, but like kind of being the powerhouse there in Starling. What are you expecting in these next coming episodes? Like, what do you want to see?
I want to see Thea become the super badass character she's starting to be. I don't think it's gonna be the next couple of episodes, but you know, I would like to see an actual fight between Oliver Queen and Ra's al Ghul.
Want to see him duke it out and see Ollie finally kick his ass?
Or maybe like a.
Well, I know we're building up to it, but yes, I do. I'm excited to see it. And of course, there's the Atom suit, which can't come fast enough.
It looks so different from what I thought it was gonna be, but it legit looks like a Call of Duty exosuit that's painted blue
Really?
and red. And I don't know how it's gonna work, but you could see through the visor. So I don't know if he wants people to know it's him underneath there, or...
But he doesn't shrink anymore, you said.
Yeah, that's the thing. He does not... Well, they said that if there's... The creator said that if people are wanting to see him shrink off the bat, like, meaning, like, right away when he puts the suit on, they're gonna be disappointed. But he said that they could build up to it, and they said he's gonna take to the sky.
He's gonna be like an Iron Man of the DC universe.
That's so awesome. What do you rate this episode, guys?
I give it an 8.
I say 9.
There was parts of it I liked, but all around it felt like it was just the calm before the storm. I'm gonna rate this one a 7.
Okay. I gave it a 9 because I think I like everything I see on TV, so... So any last words?
Only the master can eat the noodle.
Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to leave a like, comment down below with your thoughts, and go subscribe to these awesome guys down below in the description. See you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Turtles!